If I asked you to live on just $10 a week, how would you pull it off? What would you have to do to make it work? Or rather, what would you have to not do to make it work? I bet to the majority of you right now, living on just $10 a week seems impossible. Well, this is what I do, and it's actually why I got rid of all of my belongings, furniture, and even my silverware and dishes. In fact, I only allow myself one slice of bread a day. Alright, this is not actually what I mean when I say that I live frugally or I live below my means, and I definitely live on more than $10 a week. What it really means is that I choose to not spend my money on things that I don't absolutely need, while leaving a little bit of wiggle room for the things that I want and that will improve my experience of life. This has led me to live a very minimalistic lifestyle as well, and in this video I'm going to explain to you how I'm building my wealth and reducing my stress through living my life frugally. In this video, you're not going to hear about any sort of radical transformation that happened within me because, to be honest, I have always been this way. I've always been a pretty frugal person. I have always hated spending money that I don't absolutely need to spend, and even when I do absolutely need to spend money, you know, it leaves me with sort of like a sinking feeling, a sinking pit feeling in my stomach. So I'm going to take you through what I do and don't spend my money on, why I do this, and how it has radically changed my life and how it could possibly radically change your life for the better. Let's start with subscriptions, one of the biggest monthly optional payments that most people do. I have pretty much no subscriptions except for a music streaming service, and that's because music really improves the quality of my life and it makes me feel better. But I don't even have any streaming services like Netflix, like Hulu, like Disney Plus, any of that. I don't know, I don't really watch TV shows or movies a lot, and I mostly just watch anime, and I can find pretty much any anime online for free. But I bet that a lot of the shows that you find on these streaming services you can probably find for free, so that might be a thing that is optional for you. Even if you really enjoy streaming this stuff, like, you can probably find this stuff online somewhere for free. Next up is food. Obviously everybody needs food, but we all spend our money on food differently. Now, I really enjoy the process of cooking. I enjoy making my own food, and I like knowing where my food comes from, and becoming vegan and also being frugal and requiring myself to cook more has allowed me to become a better cook, which I also really like. It's a great skill to have. But maybe once every few weeks, once every couple weeks, I will decide to go out and eat because it's a great social event to get together with my friends, and sometimes it's just something that I really enjoy doing. Even if I go out to eat alone, you know, doing it every once in a while, it perks me up a little bit. One of the biggest things that minimalists and frugal people talk about is clothing. Fashion can be expensive. If you are a person who's really big into fashion, maybe it's part of your brand or something, or maybe you just really like wearing stuff that makes you look amazing, then I think that some of your income can still go towards, you know, buying clothes. But personally, I have not bought any of my own clothes in like 3 years, I would say. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to look like a homeless person, but before, when I was living with my parents, my mom definitely helped me out with, you know, buying some type of clothes for me as I grew out my old clothes, and I have a lot of other different clothes that I've just picked up over the years. I've gone thrifting, which is another great way to be frugal while still being fashionable. But if you watch a lot of my videos, you'll notice I wear pretty much the same shirts in like a lot of my videos, and that's because my wardrobe doesn't really matter too much to me, and also that's just another extra step for me to focus on with my days. So because I wear pretty much the same thing every single day, I don't really have to think about what I need to wear tomorrow. I don't have to plan out outfits, and I pretty much just like throw on a shirt and pants and I go along with my day, and that relieves a lot of stress and it frees up time within my day too. And then of course there's just regular entertainment like going to concerts, traveling the world, stuff like that. And let me tell you, COVID has helped a lot with saving and putting money into my pocket, or keeping money into my pocket during this time. But when things do start to open up and those things start happening again, I will decide to definitely go to cool events and pay for cool events, even if they are a little bit expensive, if I know that this is going to improve my life experience. So being frugal is not really about causing a detriment to your life, like I said, and we want to be able to optimize that. It's really about just knowing that you can save a lot of money, and if you choose to save this money, then you will have an abundance of
delayed gratification.
Why do I choose to live this way? Aren't I not living life to the fullest because of this? You know, YOLO, you only live once. If you only live once, then you should make the most out of every single day. Well, yes, there's truth to that, and I talk about so much in my videos about living life to the fullest within the present moment, but the term YOLO is the reason why I live this way, because I'm giving myself that delayed gratification, because I know that if I'm frugal, if I save today and I don't spend more than I make, then my income's going to keep increasing, and in the future, my quality of life is going to be vastly improved because of this. You see, humans are wired to seek the path of least resistance. We do what feels good in the moment, and spending is something that is very easy to do and feels good in the moment. And saving money is not, because it doesn't give us any instant benefit. All of this from the guy who preaches about living in the moment and the fact that every moment is fleeting and that now is the only time we have. But I think that Jocko Willink, former Navy SEAL and now best-selling author, said it best when he said, discipline equals freedom. By living below my means through discipline and therefore increasing the amount of money that I have saved, I am setting myself up for much greater gains in the future. I know that if I decide to put my money saved into my investment portfolio instead of spending it on things that I don't need, that my quality of life in the future is going to be so much higher. I will be able to do all of these entertaining and amazing things that I'm restricting myself from doing now in the future, but without any worry of losing all that money if I decide to put in the discipline now through all the years and years of work of not deciding to spend my money. Now, at the moment, I'm definitely not making that much money, and I also have student loans to still pay off. I'm paying that monthly, but I want to be sure that I'm saving enough to the point where 10% of everything I make is going into my investment portfolio. I've never made a video on investing. If that's something that you guys would want, maybe I'll make that, but just to give you a recommendation, I'm in the middle of reading a book called Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins, and this is filled with secrets and goodies of how to invest, how to save your money, and how to really make yourself have the greatest quality of life in the future. Yes, living in the present is extremely important, but you still need to make plans for the future. Before every purchase you make, you need to ask yourself, is this something that I really need? Or if I choose to not purchase this thing, will future me thank me for it? If you're already not a frugal person, or if it's not a trait that you have naturally, it can be extremely hard to build the habit of discipline. But like with any habit, as soon as you start to consistently do it over time, it's going to be much easier to hold yourself off from that instant gratification that comes with purchasing so many things. And another thing that I don't think is talked about enough in these types of videos is how much your mental state improves when you decide to live a more minimalistic and frugal life. Because I don't own a ton of stuff, my mind is a lot less cloudy. Now, people don't understand this, but the environment in which you live in is going to have a huge impact on how you feel in your mind. Your external circumstances, your external situation is going to affect your internal state radically. If you live in clutter, then your mind's going to be cluttered. And if you live in a nicely well-kept house that only has the things that you need and you have a lot of empty space, that is going to be a direct reflection of how you feel within your mind. And we can learn a lot from the emptiness that is surrounding objects. It's something we never usually pay attention to because it's not something we can sense through our eyes, ears, nose, or mouth, but it's certainly playing a larger role in how we act and feel than we think. Simply put, by owning less, by having more empty space, I have less to think about and less to stress over. Above all, I think it's important to define what a quality life looks for you. A lot of people like having a lot of things and they like having expensive fashion. That improves their quality of life. It makes them truly happier rather than just happier in the moment when they finally get those things. If you're that type of person, then maybe you want to be less frugal than me, but I just find that the type of person that I am, I don't need to have a lot of stuff. I find that I save a lot, and because I have so much saved, I know that future me is really going to benefit for this, but I think everyone can find somewhere where they can cut down their spending or just remove things from their house. Now, there are a lot of things within our houses that we only use maybe once every few months or we haven't used in forever, and they're still in our houses. Get rid of those immediately, and in fact, when you do, I bet you can sell most of these things on eBay, on Facebook Marketplace, and well, you know, that's gonna put a little bit more money in your pocket as well. Just make sure that you don't go spending all that money on something new. What I suggest is making some sort of spreadsheet that has all of your monthly expenses written down, and you start crossing out the ones that you know you could live without, and that you know that if you decided to cross those out, it wouldn't really affect your mental state and it would just improve the quality of your life. The paradox in everything I've talked about is that the less you own and the less that you have to worry and think about, the more that you actually have. I hope that you got some value out of this video today. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like on the video, and thank you so much for watching till the end. That really helps out my channel a lot. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for 10,000 subscribers. Crazy. Feeling super grateful lately for you guys. Thank you. I'm gonna head out now. Have a good rest of your day.